I just put on a live marketing masterclass where I talked about the strategies that I've implemented over the last 7 years in my drone business that have gotten me clients and what I also teach. Now, that video was about an hour long. You can definitely click the link below if you want to see the whole thing. But this is a little 15 to 17-minute blurb on the two initial pieces that we talked about. Number one, B2B marketing, and number two, inbound and outbound strategies to start getting clients with your drone business. Let's dive in. So today, what I want to cover in this is really just these three pieces and how they relate to the drone industry. So first off, like B2B marketing, like what is it and what are the differences? Because I see a lot of people talking about, okay, here's generic marketing advice that'll definitely work for you. It just has to. And sometimes that's just not the case. So B2B marketing, inbound versus outbound, how to build a strategy around both, and awareness versus intention when it comes to advertising. Because you could be the best drone pilot in the world, knows about you, like you're not getting paid. Like effective marketing isn't just an option, it's the lifeblood for your business. So we're going to dive into those strategies that actually have generated me revenue, generate my clients revenue, and really common misconceptions that I see. Because at the end of the day, like I'm sure there are tons of other pilots out there that are way better than me, but they're not making money because they don't prioritize the marketing piece or they don't know how. And they're like, okay, what do I do? But they're amazing. They could probably, try like fly circles around me, but I'm making money and they're not. So it's like, what's important? We obviously want to be the best, but we want to show that we're the best too. So first off, like before we kind of dive into those three, really want to show you guys like this pyramid. Talk about it like pretty regularly, but these two are basically like our legs when it comes to anything with the drone business. We've got to prove that we are the trusted drone expert when it comes to all things drone in the area that we're servicing. That's essential. And then really number two, like we've got to provide exceptional deliverables for our clients, because if we get this piece right, but we don't have the foundation, like we're still going to fall flat on our face, right? I'm sure you guys have bought something that the marketing was like amazing. Like this year I started and I was going to like try mushroom coffee for the first time. Terrible decision, terrible idea. I basically like tried it one time and it was just horrible. I was like, I don't know how people like buy this. I think it's a pyramid scheme or something, because the product was just so bad, right? Like just not good at all. And then I ended up throwing up. um, but we don't want that to be the same thing with our brand, with our business, right? We want to be able to market something that's actually able to stand on its own and be like, yeah, we are exceptional at what we do. And our clients can back that up. So we're going to obviously just talk about this today, but these two pieces are incredibly essential to build off of, the foundation for marketing. But let's dive in. So B2B marketing for drone pilots. So B2B, that just means business to business. So I'd say if we break up when it comes to the amount of work that I've done over the years, I would say like 95% is B2B, where I'm selling to businesses, and then 5% is B2C. So the B2C, business to consumer, is more so like people that are buying for keepsakes. So we did like an surprise engagement shoot for someone. They got down on one knee and we got some drone footage, or maybe like a wedding or something. That we've also sold like prints for people's farms, people's land and stuff. That's basically the B2C, right? And so I'm not saying I've never done it, but it's 5% of what I'm typically doing. 95% of what I do is business to business. 95% of what you guys do is probably business to business. And so most drone businesses like fail to understand the critical distinction between those two things. Like we can't think of ourselves as people that are selling to B2C. Like we've got to figure out, okay, how can we market directly to businesses? Because 95% of what we do is benefiting a business or benefiting their way of making some form of monetary compensation, right? They're not buying it for fun. They're not scrolling Instagram going, man, I got to buy some new shoes. And then boom, like that's a B2C ad, right? And a lot of the social media platforms are more targeted towards B2C, but we've got to be able to make sure that our marketing strategy from day one is B2B and highlights that. Because otherwise, even if we're doing the consistent stuff, it's not going to work. So, what doesn't work for B2B marketing? Lead magnets, email opt ins. Like, these are great for home inspectors or, people that they're working directly with a person where it's like, hey, if I tell you more about my product, if I tell you more about what I do, like this mushroom coffee, like here are all the things that it helps. The more I'm educated on potentially wanting to buy it because, oh, it fits for me, right? And the lead magnet typically works that way where it's something that gets a hold of someone. It's like, hey, lose 10 pounds in 20 days. And then you get the lead magnet. And then later it's like, hey, this person's trying to pitch a service or product for you, right? That's not what we do. Like we're B2B. Same thing with email opt-ins. Building out our contact list, building out our email list is extremely important, but most people in the B2B area aren't like buying this kind of stuff. Like they're not buying this way. And then the last one, like going viral on social media. No. Social media is great, but the thing is like it's better if it's used properly. The two ways that we can use it are one, using it more of like a portfolio. That's solid. And then two, outbound for network expansion. Like I can reach out directly to people, and we can have potentially a conversation through social media. But I'm not trying to go viral because most of the people, if you've gone viral on social, most of the people that are following you are probably not your client or your ideal client. They're probably other drone enthusiasts. And drone enthusiasts don't buy from other drone businesses, right? So here's what actually works for B2B marketing. Number one, visibility 100%. Like being visible and accessible when businesses have an immediate need for your services, and being able to really, what this means is showing up in search results. Huge, right? Then networking. A lot of people are like, I don't really know what that means. I don't really like that term. Like, if we just break it down, it's just building trust with decision makers in businesses that you could fly for, right? Like people are only going to work with me if they know me, like me, and trust me. So if I can slowly build trust with decision makers in those areas, in those businesses, then I'm way more likely to be able to get a pitch out for them, right? So that's really what networking just is. It's just building trust with decision makers. Referrals, something kind of similar, it's just a little bit different, but it's building trust with people that regularly do business with the people that you want to do business with. So we're basically taking the trust aspect and their relationship and leveraging that because they probably have some sort of rapport with this person. It's like, hey, check out Jacob. He does great drone work. Like, I think he could work for your business, right? Let me introduce you guys. So I'm basically coming on the back end of that trust that he's already built with maybe a client or something else. Really, really helpful because then I'm like any chance that I can get someone to pitch for me, like I'm going to take it versus me having to pitch all the time. So, and then the last one, just creating awareness. Like, and going back to the referrals, I do have a pretty good example of this. I work with a construction company and we've got like 3 or 4 projects that we do monthlies, contracts and stuff. Really, the how I got that connection was a business banker in a networking group of mine. We talked, we built a relationship, and he's like, "Yeah, I do work with construction companies all the time. Like I am their banker for like most of the construction companies in this city." Like, okay, cool. So then little by little, he started pitching me And we were able to get some really, really good referrals from that because they're like, when the time was right, he's like, hey, have you thought about drone work for XYZ? Like, I know a guy who does a really good job. And then all of a sudden, people that aren't necessarily like intentionally ready to buy are now like, oh, okay. Now they're more aware of what I'm doing, right? Going back to the last point, creating awareness before the need arises. Like, really, what we want to do is like, not, we'll get to this in a sec, but like 20% are ready to buy, 80% are not. And so we want to create awareness. So when the need arises, then we're the go-to expert. We're ready to be hired. And I guarantee, like, there are people, this can be sad, like, there are people in your city that would hire you today if they knew you existed, but they don't know about you. They don't know about you, so either they find somebody else or they don't know the education on how they could benefit from you. And that's on us. Like when I got started, so my church was doing some special events, and the event coordinator, like, apparently didn't know that I did drone work. And so they were putting the event together and they're like, we want to have a drone pilot capture the footage for the event. It's going to be really cool. We're doing a bunch of stuff. They ended up hiring a drone pilot. And I found out later and I'm like, what in the world? You guys didn't hire me? Like, this is terrible. Well, it was my fault. Like, they didn't know what I was doing, right? And I was back in Indiana at the time. They just didn't know that I was doing what I was doing. And that's on you. Like, we've got to build the awareness for what we're doing. And also, like, a lot of people will conceptualize drone services or drone pilot and put you in a box. And sometimes we've got to just like reverse engineer that or just change out that mindset completely and go, okay, well, I'm not just a military drone pilot. I'm not just this. You think when I said drone pilot, it meant XYZ. We've got to take them out of that and reframe to be like, no, these are the clients that I help with. And that's why the first impression of like, what do you do and like pitching your services is so crucial, because it can open up doors or it can just stop a conversation depending on how we answer. So, all right, moving on. So that's basically our B2B. Moving on to inbound versus outbound. To build a sustainable business, we actually don't need to choose either or. We need to do both and. We need to have a solid inbound and outbound strategy. Otherwise, it's going to take us a lot longer to start building traction, right? We can do just one or just the other, but if we can really do both and put them together, it really vamps up like from where we're at and takes us to the next level. For inbound, people need to be able to find you. Super simple, right? Like, they need to be able to see you. And that's where it comes down to our online presence showing up in search results. Clients will do this to me all the time. They'll have a contract or they'll have a job they need drone work for, and they'll go drone services Las Vegas or drone services location. And then they see if there's anyone that's worth reaching out to and talking to. And my goal is like 100%, I want to be at the top of that list if possible. So we want to show up when that need is coming, right? When people are inbound, they are actively searching, right? That comes down, like I said, to the online presence. And then we back it up with our Google business listing. Like I said, got about 65-star reviews. Like, that just shows not just like, oh man, that's a cool number. It shows more the credibility. It shows the credibility that they can really trust you. It's like, okay, well, 60 other people at least took time to say this guy knows what he's doing. Okay, that's objectively where we're at, right? Versus starting, further and further back. Like, we want to make sure that like we're proving the legitimacy of what we do from that first impression when someone reaches out online. Then with inbound, we've got a couple options. Like, obviously, we need to go out and find them. We find out how we can add value, and then we basically make the pitch ourselves. Like, we don't wait for someone to say, hey, can you fly this project for me? Can you do this? We go and say, hey, I think this would really benefit your business. Like, what if we did a promo for XYZ? Like, what if we did a fly through? Like, what if we started the groundbreaking ceremony and started capturing progress updates? And now I'm putting into their mind like what I can provide versus waiting for them to figure it out, reach out and say, yeah, I need you, right? Like, I don't want them to do all that work. I want to do all that work for them and go, here's how I can help you. What are your thoughts, right? So one-to-one would be cold calling, cold email. And I want to be strategic with that. I don't want to just like email a billion people. Like, I want to email the right people. Or we've got one to many. That's going to be posting content or joining referral networks. So now I'm able to get my message out to more than just like one person. Like, I'm able to tell my message to multiple people, whether it's an ad on Instagram, whether it's a post on social media, whether it's going to an event talking about my business. Now I've got the opportunity to not just talk to one person, right? What cold outbound requires of us, though, is to take someone from cold to warm, right? These people, the inbounds, they're hot. They're super hot, smoking. They love it. Like, they're ready to go as long as we can show them like that we are the best option for them. But when it comes to the outbound, like, we need to do a good job of warming up these leads because they aren't thinking about finding a drone service provider. They're not thinking about finding a drone pilot and how they don't really know like necessarily how. So we've got to answer the question of how can you help me? We've got to do a good job with that, no matter what our outreach looks like, no matter what we're doing on outbound. If it's email, if it's posting, like, we've got to answer that question of how. So CC is just cold calling, and then E is just the emailing. This also means that we're going to have to get good at handling objections because these people are like, why would I even, hire you? Like, I'm not interested. And so now we've got to go on the offensive and say, well, here are the reasons that I can benefit your business on the marketing side, on the safety side, on the inspection side. Like, we've got to educate to get to the point where we get the opportunity to actually pitch. We'll get to that in a little bit too. Like, we've got to be able to talk about the objections when someone's like, yeah, I don't need you. Or, I've never even thought about drone services. I don't think we could probably use you for that. It's like, okay, that's probably what everyone's going to say when we're doing outbound, because more so we're just educating. And now we're trying to explain like how we can benefit them. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to build out like the funnels shortly too, and see like how this all stacks. Well, I hope you got some value from that snippet of the hour-long masterclass on marketing for your drone business. If you want to watch the whole hour-long video, go ahead and click the link below, and where we cover the intention ads along with awareness ads and really the funnel to put it all together in that masterclass. And if you are a licensed 107 remote pilot certificate holder, you're looking to build your drone business in 2025, and you're looking for help when it comes to maybe marketing, when it comes to the drone operations, when it comes to client fulfillment, editing content, and deliverables, the Drone Crew is the place for you. I've helped over 100 drone pilots take their business to the next level, and I'd love to partner up with you this year to really shave down the learning curve. I've been in drones for about 7+ years, been in aviation for over a decade now. And what I like to teach is really how to build momentum in a shorter amount of time so that way you can take your drone business to the next level and get the results that you want. So if you want to book a time with my team, you can click the link below, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Otherwise, fly safe.